have the team of Love Her Legacy here to talk about some generational issues that they have going on between the ages of 12 and 18. Love Her Legacy is a company that these young ladies are a part of in order to help empower young girls ages 12 to 18. So first I'm going to have them introduce themselves.
I'm Janelle.
I'm Lachey.
I'm Cassidy.
And I'm Ariel.
All right, and how this panel discussion is going to work is I'm going to ask a couple of questions and then allow them to answer the questions from their opinion, from their standpoint, from their viewpoints. Okay, from your perspective, what is Love Her Legacy and why is it important to your generation?
Love Her Legacy is a group of young ladies who want to come together and make a change in the teenage community. We have a lot of ladies who think that they aren't perfect if they don't wear this or that, or if they don't get that makeup or wear this makeup. We want ladies to know that they're perfect the way they are. And we feel that social media or just people in general convince you that you need to have this or that material to be popular. So we want to change social media into a positive platform and let people know that they're perfect the way they are and help empower people, and not just with empowerment, with like being more positive and helping mental illnesses and different things like that.
All right, so this question is I want you all to answer this individually. The question is, what insecurities do you struggle with that you think others can relate to?
I think some insecurities that I have and maybe other girls can relate to is just like doing things based off of what people think should happen or think, what girls should look like or what girls should do. And when people say stuff like that, like I just start thinking like that's how stuff works, and I start going off of that based on what people like think. And so like pretty much going on people's opinions instead of fact.
Okay, and we want you to be very raw with this. So give me an example of something that is perceived that other people think or place you in that category and that you struggle with.
So people like they'll think like, oh, you have to have like big breasts and like a very little waist and like a big butt. And so like, like I'm always trying to like get skinnier, like be extra when I'm like working out and just like try to fit that description because that's what people say women should look like. And that's what people like, that's what they think everyone should just look like. And so I try to fit that description to be like everyone else when God made me how I'm supposed to be. But I don't really be thinking like that because that's just what everyone thinks like women should look like.
Okay, need somebody else? Lachey?
Like when people call me skinny, you don't have to tell me like plenty of times. Like every time somebody give me a hug, like you're skinny, and I feel like I should eat more to get even bigger. But I'm like thinking like, why should I listen to what they're saying to me? Because like, if I'm skinny, then I'm skinny. I don't need nobody to tell me that over and over again. So I just feel like, I need to eat more and just do more to make me bigger. But I'm like, I don't even care no more. That's their opinion. We all have different opinions in the world, so it don't matter to me no more.
Okay.
So.
Janelle?
I struggle a lot with criticism sometimes. It doesn't necessarily change my mind because before I let them get in my head, I stop and think that it's not about them. It's about what I like and what I want. So if I want to go out looking or feeling the way I want to feel or dress the way I want to dress, I should feel happy with what I come out to, not with I shouldn't have to let anybody tell me what I should look like and what they think about my outfit because it's not what they decided to do. It's what I decided to do.
Ariel?
I feel like I struggle a lot with criticism also and trying to change myself for what people want me to be. Like, for example, people say I'm too wild or I'm not calm enough. I feel sometimes when I hear people close to me say it, it hurts me and I try to change them around me. But I think if I'm wild and I like to have fun, I shouldn't change for anyone. And that's kind of what I struggle with.
Okay. All right, the next question. What changes for the next generation or even for your current situation do you want to see?
I want to see people be more uplifting to each other. And it sounds cliche, but I want to hear people say, instead of, ew, those shoes are ugly, I want to hear people say, wow, those look good on you. Where'd you get them? Or instead of hearing, your hair's messed up, why don't you fix it? year, oh, do you need help with that? Instead of degrading people, we can uplift people and make them feel better about themselves. Instead of always finding something to complain about towards some person and make them feel bad about themselves. Because that's not what life should be about. It shouldn't be about, oh, this is ugly, oh, change that. It should be, oh, this looks good on you, this is different.
Anybody else want
There's something to add on to that. I feel like in our generation, like all people focus about is the bad things, and we don't even focus about the good things like that, like people do or like are wearing and stuff like that. Like I just feel like everyone focuses on the negative and the bad things, and that's probably like why everyone is so like negative on themselves, and that's why everyone has a state of mind and they have to be a certain way and do stuff because everyone just like pays attention to negative, but they don't pay attention to positive. Like you could look really nice, but someone will point out like everything bad about your outfit or the way you look or like what you do. And I think that's the reason why everyone's like in this state of mind of negativity, and that's like why things are the way they are now with our generation.
I feel like people need to start understanding that to be yourself is the best thing you could be, because that's you, and no one should change that. Because what's going on today causes what's going on in the future, and a lot of people don't understand that, so that doesn't cross their minds. So I think people need to understand that if you see someone being themselves, don't down them, because it took them a lot to get to where they are, or to get them to be themselves.
All right, so with that being said, the changes that you guys want to see, what are you personally going to do to assist with that change? Like, what kind of steps can you take as an individual? Not even talking about Love Her Legacy, but as an individual, what kind of steps can you take to be that positive change that you want to see?
I think yeah, me too, but like just like giving people compliments, just like being positive and being happy and like showing people like it's good to be yourself and it's good to, be positive. And it's like, because I think most people think the bad stuff is good, but it's really not. So like I personally want to like make the good stuff be good and like show people like, you can do this and it's okay, and it's like it's not bad to do this.
Anybody else?
Yeah, like what she's saying, like tell people that they're pretty or not ugly. Don't ever let nobody tell you different. If they have an opinion, that's their opinion. So like you walk outside wearing something cute, somebody want to make a comment like, "That's not cute. You shouldn't be wearing that. You too fat or you too skinny with that." It's like, well, right, it don't matter. You can wear it. If you bought it and you want to wear it, then you gonna wear it.
Right.
So it's always be yourself. So I'm just trying to say, just be yourself.
I think the steps we can take as individuals, that we should first develop confidence, which we all have sometimes. So we should fully develop confidence, and I think we should do different things, like we should uplift people. So like say we're at school, you see someone feeling down, you'll ask them what's wrong and try to walk with them and try to help them the best you can, because most stuff starts because people feel like they don't have anyone. And if you're that person to help them, like to be that helping hand, then you can help them get through what they're getting through. You have to make it like there's always a little bad, but along with a little bad, there's always a little good. So if you're going through a hard time and it's taking forever to get good, just know that there's always that little good that you can get. So you just have to be strong and push forward. So I think we should all have that positive side and try to help someone no matter what, because you never know what they're going through at home or just anywhere. So.
All right, so I know we talked previously about mental health, and I know, Janelle, you have an opinion towards mental health.
I think that mental health, a lot of people like push that under the rug and ignore it until someone else goes through it. And that's not the right way to handle mental health. I think that when you experience it, I know it's hard to nip it in the bud, because you have a lot of people surrounded by you telling you this and that, but it all comes down to you at a point. And a lot of people don't help with that. And when so-and-so goes through mental health, it's like, okay, everybody reacts, and then after that, it's over, and everyone just doesn't pay attention to it. And that's the problem with today. People throw important stuff under the rug and start paying attention to everything else instead of a situation that is more serious.
Okay. So I have a question. So you all being young ladies, teenagers, I know you all get that you have no stress. You're kids. You don't have to pay bills. You don't have to drive a car. You don't have to have a job. All you have to do is go to school. So you guys give me some feedback on how you feel about that.
I personally don't like that's. I know that's not true at all. Cause like, yeah, like people, like especially parents and like adults, like they think that we don't have stress, but we do. Like we have to go to school and like no, like it's just teachers there, but like they don't see like what happens at school. Like we're dealing with bullying at school, and we feel like we have to be perfect, and like it's different at school. Like, and they don't get to see that side of us when we're like, at school for 7 hours a day, 5 days a week. And so it's like, we deal with different stuff. And yeah, you might think we just go to school, be in class, learn all that stuff. It actually is like more than that. And it's like different stuff goes on at school. And it's not even just bullying and stuff, but it's just like, like a lot happens at school. So we do have to deal with stress. And it is very stressful. And not even like, besides bullying and stuff, like we have to deal with like sports and then trying to get our homework done and all that stuff. Like it might not seem like a big deal, but it is. Like it's hard, especially when we're like at that challenging level, like trying to get all that done, like multitasking and just like all the stuff. Like it is very stressful, and I mean very stressful.
I feel that not that parents don't understand, but they don't understand until a major outbreak happens. Like they've been to school too, but they feel, oh, you're not an adult. You're just a 13, 14-year-old. You go to school, you come back home, you do your chores, you have homework. Homework might be hard sometimes, but you don't go through the stress that we go through. I feel that, because coming with school, you also have people, which leads to bullying, dating, a bunch of crazy stuff. Coming with that, you have teachers, you have bad influences, you have a bunch of different things with middle school, and not just middle school. High school is even worse. So I feel like parents don't pay attention until the major outbreak happens. Something crazy happens, and then they actually start paying attention to their kids. And it's not every parent does that, but that's how, especially with mental illness, like Janelle said, nothing will happen until a major outbreak happens, and that's when everyone starts paying attention. And then when it gets to the point where you can't solve it or you figure it out, everyone forgets about it. So I feel like that's a major point of it, because honestly, school, there's social media also, not just school. The kids on social media, which mental illness helps adds with that too. There are people who are driving people to kill themselves, like bullying them online in anonymous sites, writing notes on their lockers, bullying. And most of the time, some parents don't pay attention to it. They're saying you're being dramatic. It doesn't get that deep. And it does, because it actually happens and no one pays attention to it. They just forget about it. Or like in a music video I've seen, they do something like they'll put something on social media to forget about it when there's actually bad stuff happening. So I think that's a big part of stress.
And I think parents don't think we're stressed because we're dealing with two different stress levels. Like, yeah, they're stressed. They have to deal with car loans, like paying bills and jobs and all that stuff. But we're stressed too, just on a different level. And yeah, like parents have been there. Like every parent's been to school. But I truthfully, like, I think they're like, they just don't remember because it's been such a while ago. But like no matter what, like life is just stressful. Like you're always gonna deal with stress, no matter what you're doing, who you are, age. Like you're always gonna be stressed. And I just feel like it's like two different levels of stress that maybe like parents might not understand because it's been a while since they like been in that level of stress and they don't think it's that much. But for us, like we're going through it, so yeah, we're a lot more stressed out and like right now.
And to add with that one more time, it's not even just that you guys forgot. It's that the generation, there's two different generations. The generation that you guys happened at least like 10 years ago. The generation now is different. We have high-tech technology, different anonymous sites that you can bully on, different dark web stuff that you can do. Mm-hmm. So what bullying was back then is not what bullying is now. Exactly. And there's two different sides of a person. You see a different side of a person at school versus what you see your child at home. So I feel like that, because you don't see everything you see of me in different places. So I feel like that's how some kids feel. Some kids are nervous to talk to their parents, and they don't want to say, "Oh, I got bullied today. Oh, someone wrote racial slurs on my locker."
Right.
I feel like not everyone has the courage to say that because they feel like you're just not going to get attention because everyone sweeps that stuff under the carpet. To what Janelle said.
And I know I have that communication problem. It's not hard for me to communicate, but I'm not gonna come like home every day and tell you every little thing that happened in my 7-hour day at school. Like, you got work, you're not really like, yeah, you know, how's your day and stuff like that. But I don't want to come home every day and tell you all the negative things that happen, and just to hear, oh, you're being dramatic. Oh, you know, you just blowing it out of proportion. This is not. It's not that serious. This is not. Because to me, it is. But I don't want to tell you like every little, like, you know, every single thing that happened in my 7-hour life at school. And so, like, I feel like communication is a big problem too. But I know it's this one app, Sahara. Like, people post on their stories, and like, it doesn't tell you who it is. So people just go in there and say the meanest things, and like, number one, you don't know who it is. But I think that's for every social media. Like, people can hide behind like usernames and fake profiles and catfish and all that stuff. And it's like, number one, you can get bullied, but then you don't know who, so it's like you can't get justice for it. Like, it's not going to get solved, and it just can't keep going on and on and on and not stop. And like Ariel said, like, with all the different social medias and technologies today, like, bullying has got a lot worse. Like, a lot worse.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's gotten a lot worse since, you know, back when no one had technology. It's gotten a lot worse, and I think that's why the suicide rate went up because of social media. And a lot of stuff needs to change. I'm not saying that social media needs to vanish. I'm just saying social media needs to change.
And that's why we're here, because we
Yeah.
want to change social media into a positive platform.
It's not so negative.
Okay, so I have a question. As a leader, how difficult do you think it's going to be when society in your generation is already a certain way? Is it going to be difficult to stand up and be the positive? And how are you going to overcome that difficulty?
Well, it's not gonna be easy.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's gonna be difficult because we're on the other side of other people, and it's like we're going against people trying to change their minds, and not in a bad way, but in a positive way. And it's hard to do that when you're just, you know, it's overwhelming too also. So it's not gonna be easy.
I think it's definitely going to be difficult because it's difficult now. Like, I'll post positive stuff on my social medias, and like, people will be like, "Oh, I want to become positive," but they'll end up doing something negative or bringing someone down about it in the next 2 hours. So I think it's definitely going to be hard because it's hard on myself. Like, I'll watch articles saying, "Oh, you need to spend less time on your phone because this many hours is very unhealthy," and I'll still be on my phone for like 8 hours. So it's definitely going to be hard to get people to stop. But I think we have the strength and knowledge to be able to do it, and I think we know how to do it.
And like I was saying earlier, like, these days, like, kids think the bad stuff is good. And so I think being positive, like, everyone's going to be, you know, so-called roasting and, like, making fun of people who are trying to be positive and do the right thing because they're so used to the bad things being good. They're like, I feel like all the good things have been, like no one really cares about them. And so I feel like bringing them back will, like, cause a lot of trouble. And so it's definitely going to be difficult, but I think we can do it.
So you guys are standing up to that challenge to be the positive,
Yes.
even though you are all saying that pretty much you know everybody's not going to like it.
I mean, yeah, it's going to be a challenge. Like, you know, not everyone's going to agree with it, but, you know, it's worth trying to change.
Not everyone's going to like everything. And if they're not going to take our opinion, then we move on to our audience that will.
Right.
And we'll keep trying. So I think, yeah, not everyone's going to like it. Not everyone agrees with us. But the people who are will build an empire and help people in need of help that need confidence and courage and everything like that.
Okay, so for Love Her Legacy, who would you say is your prime audience? So who are the type of people that you're trying to target?
I'd say not just teenagers in general, but I feel like bystanders. I've been a bystander millions. I've been a victim of bullying, and I've been a bystander before, and that's kind of why I'm here now. I don't like seeing people get bullied or like a bunch of the stuff that's happening today with like politics and stuff. I don't like seeing people get banned and stuff. I think everyone, like, equality equals all races, all genders. I think that's everyone who's felt like they're an outsider.
Yeah.
You're not an outsider. We're all human. We should all be equal. I think anyone who's felt or they've watched someone go through something, that's not fair. I feel like everyone who feels like they're an outsider has been through something or seen something. I think that's our major audience. People who want to see better things, or people who are going through a lot and want other people to be happy and want to see better things happen to the world.
Because no one deserves to feel like trash. And I feel like everything we're trying to help change is something we've all been through and we can all relate to. Like everything, like and girls our age and anybody our age, like we all go through this stuff, and it's very common for middle school, kids, high schoolers, like all this stuff that we're trying to change is like happening in our day-to-day lives, especially at school when our parents are not there. Like, it's definitely happening, and so that's why we want to change it, because, like, no one wants to feel like crap all the time. Like, you only live one life, and no one wants to spend their whole life, being negative and stuff, so we want to try to change that, and people can live better.
So one last thing, and if I can get something from each one of you, it doesn't have to be long. For somebody who's watching right now that may be going through something, whether it's bullying, whether it's low self-confidence, whether it's thoughts of suicide, whether it's just feeling like an outsider or they don't fit in, what piece of advice would you give them right now to get through, even if it's just the rest of the day? Because we all notice that sometimes we can be the thing that makes or breaks somebody. So it could be our smile that keeps somebody off that ledge, or it could be our mean look or our bad name that pushes them off. So in efforts to be that smile that brings somebody off the ledge, what can you tell somebody right now just as a piece of motivation?
That they're never alone. There's always someone going through either something worse or a little less worse. There's always someone who's going through something that needs help, and you're never alone. And again, it's okay to be different, because if everyone liked the same thing, if everyone had the same hair color, if everyone had the same eye color, if everyone wore the same shirt, everything would be boring. So be different. It's okay, and that you're never alone. And even if you feel like you're not loved, you have at least one person who loves you and will always be there for you. And if you feel like you don't have one, I love you, and I'll always be there for you. So just remember that you're not alone, and be different, because it's okay.
And pretty much like she said, this mainly, not really just for people who want to commit suicide or anything like that. I just want to say, like what she said, you're not alone. Yeah, you might think, oh, just at school, you get bullied, they pick on you, everyone at school might hate you. But when you're thinking about stuff like that, you got to think, you have family who care about you. It's suicide, it's people who want to help you. You just got to be willing to take the help. You're not alone at all. It's always someone who is willing to help. You just gotta be willing to take the help.
Oh yeah, there's nothing shit. Oh, don't ever let my bring you down. If you feel like something turning you a little bad side, don't ever let that come in between you. Just always be happy, smile. You're not alone. If you feel like you're alone, just overthink. No, I'm not alone. I know I have family. I know I have friends that care, but always smile. Never let nobody bring you down ever, because you're not.
Because life can get tough.
Yeah,
you're definitely gonna have some bumps in the road during life. And I'm not saying keep your head up all the time, because sometimes it's good to let out that emotion. You don't want to be keeping that sadness in the whole time. But yeah, it's good to let sadness out sometimes. But you don't want to spend your day-to-day life, because once again, you only have one life. You don't want to spend every single day being sad, being down, being negative. So it's good to let it out every once in a while. But just make sure for the most part, you just being happy and smiling. I'm not saying you have to smile every second, every day. It's okay to have be emotional, have feelings, but just try to be positive even in hard times, because you're definitely gonna have hard times.
You need sadness to be happy. So.
Right.
I feel like this goes to the bystanders. If you are a bystander, you should definitely speak up, because someone needs that. And it's not good to just stand by and watch someone get hurt, because the next day you'll never know where they'll be. So definitely stand up and try to fix what you see, because it could be fixed improperly.
Okay, so basically, Love Her Legacy is a safe haven. It's a safe haven for teen girls age 12 to 18. And yes, it's 12 to 18, but say we have an 8-year-old or a 9-year-old or a 10-year-old, because sometimes they'll go through situations where they're not necessarily old enough to handle, but they still are going through those situations. So it's not just limited to 12 to 18, also those younger generations. But just so people kind of know where to reach out to you, it's going to be on the video. But Ariel, can you tell us some of the social media?
We're on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. So it's just all Love Her Legacy. If you guys ever need to reach out, you guys can email us at loveherlegacy@gmail.com. All the social medias are just Love Her Legacy. If you guys ever need anything or need any inspiration, you guys can see our posts. Or if you ever need any help, you can DM us and we can help you.
All right. Thank you, guys.